Hey everybody, welcome to Dave TV for the 18th of March 2015. I don't know. I love doing DCR TV. I've been doing it for almost 18 years now. One of the things I love particularly the most about doing Dave TV and DCR TV and all that stuff is how when you are I guess people call me a blogger, call me a blogger. I don't really think I blog more, I do some aspect of that, but mainly what I do is I run a local news site and I post news items, and I do, I guess, blog to some degree. But one of the things I enjoy, one of the things I love, making quote marks with my fingers, is when you break a story as a blogger, okay, and then some journalist comes along from a newspaper and basically takes whatever you've done and just runs it like they had it. Now, you're a blogger, so you obviously don't have the reach of a newspaper. DCR TV, we have a niche audience. We get, 25,000, 30,000 unique individuals visiting the site every day, and we get, we're not like a newspaper that has 100,000 plus subscription, or the Washington Post, which maybe has 300,000 subscribers, it's that anymore. But anyhow, so, the newspaper will swoop in, they'll see your story, they kind of do their own calling around, and then they write the story up. They're not plagiarizing you, but they're getting your idea and then running with it on their own, and then they run it like, hey, it's our story. We did it, and so you broke the story on Sunday, but yet they run the story on Tuesday and act like it's their story, and hey, look at that. And most people that read their story don't realize that this blog, whatever, broke it 2 or 3 days earlier. Whatever. That happens all the friggin' time, and that's one of the things I love about doing this, So anyway, we had the same kind of thing going on this past week with the whole man cave story there at WTEM. I got some rumblings last week about it, and then finally Sunday morning, the whole can explodes or whatever, and I get the story up before noon on Sunday. And then Dan Steinberg comes along at the Washington Post and puts up a blog entry on his blog about early to mid-afternoon on Sunday. Doesn't credit DCR TV. So I email him or I Twitter him and I say, hey, come on. We broke the story a couple hours ago. So he's not kind enough to put at the bottom the story was first reported by DCR TV, which is great. That's all I want. I don't care. You can steal my stuff. You can whatever. Just give me credit. That's all I've ever wanted. And then, of course, 2 days later comes along the Washington Post print edition. Why did the man cave ditch the man cave by Paul Farhi? Nothing new in this piece, by the way. It's pretty, I talked to some sources, and I'm sure Paul Farhi talked to the same sources, because he damn got spun the same way I did. Well, here's the, but he did, and Farhi's done this a lot. You see the Farhi done this with, Eric Wemple. Eric Wemple has that blog, or media blog on the Post, and he'll actually break a story, and then Farhi will write up the story for the print edition for the next day. I mean, Farhi is a good C+, C-, maybe a C- reporter. He's okay. I guess he works cheap, whatever, but he kind of comes along a day or two later and kind of writes it up, and it goes in the print edition, and everyone goes, oh, Paul Farhi, you're so wonderful. Why is it that media reporters at these newspapers are such jerks? I mean it. Farhi, Zurowick over at the Sun, man, they're just the most obnoxious, low-life lizards. I don't know. Creepers. Anyway, poor Paul Farhi. Anyway, I'm reading this article, and there's nothing new in it. It's the same, the same person that talked to me Sunday talked to Farhi. You can tell that by the way everything's spun in the article. And here's the deal with the whole thing, is Jason Reid. Jason Reid is he's that special elite in Washington journalism. He was a Washington Post reporter. Ooh, And what does that mean? You're not only, by canning his show before it even aired on ESPN 980, he's not only They're not only dissing that, they're not only dissing Reid and all that, they're dissing the Washington Post. And they play it like that. You know, he left the Post. He's God's gift to journalism because he works at the Washington Post. And now Dan Snyder's radio business, his little sleazy business over there with the Redskins. They've dissed poor Jason. But he will recover. He may come back to the Post because he's beloved at the Post. Yeah, so that all plays into this. Man, it's just like, you gotta wonder. First off, that's Farhi. You know, you deal with Paul Farhi. He's a known quantity. He's one of those yeah, obviously certain things he likes. Then you read Dan Steinberg, and at least Steinberg's honest. He goes around in his blog the other day and tells about who he likes. Oh, I really like you, and I really like this person, and I really like this. I'm good friends with Chuck Sapienza, and I'm good friends with whatever. And it's like, okay, I don't know, man. The Washington Post, you ever work at a small-town newspaper? You ever do that? The Washington Post is like a big, small-town newspaper. It really is. It's just kind of like you're working at the bumfuck Herald in, you know, bumfuck Illinois. And, okay, just imagine that paper and that town bigger. That's the Washington Post, man. It really is a cliquish little paper. And you got to wonder, there's a lot of people that don't like this paper anymore. It's like, and you wonder why. You know, it's almost like, please, it's like, don't like us anymore. We're horrible. We're arrogant. We're a bunch of jerks. Anyway, so what do I know? You know, and again, my friend Jim Williams probably got it right on the nail head. The reason this Man Cave show was canned really had probably not a lot to do with Bruce Allen and his dislike for Jason Reid. It probably had more to do with the fact that ESPN was upset because they're losing their morning slot for Mike and Mike on ESPN 980. The other thing that got me about the Washington Post was the headline. The headline in Farhi's piece yesterday. It said ESPN... Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can find that article really quick. I should have it clicked on. Let me see. Where did I put that? Paul Farhi. Let's go to Paul Farhi. Let's see if we can search the news. Bill O'Reilly. Here we go. Suddenly hits the Man Cave. Okay. Okay. Here's the headline. The headline is ESPN Radio suddenly halts the Man Cave and some blame NFL's Redskins. Now that headline is wrong. And the Washington Post, I called him out on it yesterday, and the Washington Post didn't change it. ESPN Radio suddenly halts the Man Cave. ESPN Radio has nothing to do with this, okay? Dan Snyder owns a company called Red Zebra. Red Zebra runs a radio station that is branded ESPN 980, okay? It's WTEM. But ESPN does not own the radio station. ESPN has no call on what goes on that station. It's Dan Snyder and ESPN 980, his branded radio station that's owned by Red Zebra. So to say ESPN Radio, which is an entity, suddenly is doing something here, that headline is wrong. I called the Post out on that, and they didn't change it. That tells you, it's another reason why this newspaper is really mediocre these days, man. I'll tell you, man, it is just, it's the bumfuck Herald in a big market. They should have changed that because that headline is wrong. ESPN Radio had nothing to do with the Man Cave or Jason Reid or anything. And then, I love it too. Here's Jason Reid. It's Jason Reid show. It's Jason Reid show. It's Jason Reid show. You read that all over the Washington Post. Well, Chris Paul was also on the show. They barely mention. They mention him. But it's Jason Reid's show. It's an indignancy to Jason Reid. Jason Reid is the former Washington Post reporter. How dare they treat him like this? I'm going, Chris Paul's on the show too. I mean, granted, he didn't work at the Washington Post. But I'm just saying that's the thing that Dan Snyder did. You know, he not only he stuck it to the Post. He stuck it to the Post. And Steinberg and Farhi and Marty Barron and everybody else is probably, they stuck it to us again. It's just funny to see the dynamics of this whole situation and how it's playing out here. It's just crazy. Meanwhile, the lowly blogger, the funny one too is I said, I think I said to Steinberg, I said, I broke the story on Sunday morning. Give me some credit. Well, we knew about this last week. We just didn't report about it. We already knew about it. Well, I did too. But, we knew about it last Thursday. But, we didn't get around to reporting it until after you put something up. So it's like, well, okay, that's good, I guess you could just say that about anything. The New York Times broke the story about Hillary Clinton, but we knew about it 2 days ago, even though we didn't report it till after the New York Times. It's going to be called the Washington Post defense, right? I'm going to coin that term. We knew about it ahead of time, but we didn't feel it was that important. We were busy covering other important things, Or as Dan Snyder talks like this. He talks like Emma Flight, Well, we knew about that last Thursday, but we just didn't get around to reporting it, All right, folks. So anyway, that's the big news. Finally, I guess the storm of controversy has died. You wonder, though, Dan Snyder, another Dan Snyder. This man, it looks like he just goes out and tries and tries and tries to get bad publicity for himself. He's like, man, this man, it's like it's a magnet. I mean, I feel kind of sorry for the guy in a way. It's just like you would think somebody who's an owner of owner of a TV station, owner of radio station, a guy who owns a sports team like this, the Washington whatever they're called, anyway. He owns the Redskins, and he's been through the media ringer so many times, with a city paper, and with you think he would kind of get to the point where he learns how to deal with it, at least does stuff for publicity, to start a radio show like this, to do publicity for it for 2 or 3, 4 weeks, and then at the last minute pull the plug on it and have one of the participants being a former Washington Post reporter, and it's just like you're setting yourself up for a whole lot of bad publicity. Aren't you? I mean, that's what he does. I mean, poor Dan Steinberg. Poor Dan Snyder. All these Dans. Poor Dan Snyder. I mean, you got to say to him, my God. Oy vey. You just kind of want, I just want Dan. I'm getting my Dans mixed up. I'm getting Dan on the brain. Dan Snyder. You just want him. Dan, sell your radio stations to Cumulus. Get out of the broadcasting business. At least do that and just go focus on your team. Running a radio station, running this, it's a mess. You're tarnishing your reputation as much as you can. It's a joke. You need to get out of the radio business. Just get the hell out of the business. You can sell the radio rights to the Redskins to 4 or 5 different companies in Washington that would love to have them. Hubbard would love it. Radio 1 would love it. Cumulus would love it. CBS would love it. There's a killer channel, iHeart, would love it. You could make so much money just selling the rights to this team and have the games on Big or 106.7 or something like that, or even 105.9. Get out of the radio ownership business. Just sell those stations to Cumulus. They could probably do something with them and get the hell out of there. That's what I think. That's my advice to Dan Snyder. My advice to Dan Snyder is a mistake to get in the radio business. Sell your stations. Take a loss. You got so much money it ain't going to matter. And just move on and focus on the damn team, getting this team winning again. Get the name changed. I still think, what was the name I thought? The Red. I like keeping the name Red in the name. Find a way to keep the name Red in the name, because that's somewhat of a heritage. The Red Machine. I like that. The Soviet hockey team or the Russian hockey team, the Red Machine. Call them the Red Machine. The Washington Red Machine. I think it keeps red in the name and, gets rid of that whole racist skins thing out there. Anyway, thanks for watching Dave TV for the 18th of March, 2015. Book 'em, Dano.